Pepsi, Pepsi, Pepsi. What a pathetic company. Once again, what a pathetic company. First of all, let me tell you guys up front, me not lying to you, telling you the absolute truth. I have been Pepsi free and Coca-Cola free for over 8 years now. I have not gone back to touch those drinks, and I can tell you that I have been much healthier since I stopped drinking that garbage. And I'd recommend any one of you who still drinks Pepsi or still drinks Coca-Cola or any of these carbonated drinks, don't buy their products, don't drink their drinks, because all you're doing is just killing yourself and making your immune system weak. Anyways, Pepsi has recently, Pepsi alongside with Walmart and along with other big companies including GM and other big automobile companies, they had recently pulled their ads out from YouTube. And when you dig deep to go and see exactly the real reason why these major companies have pulled their ads out from YouTube to boycott YouTube, to attempt to stop people from speaking things they don't want to hear about, you will see that it's strictly political. These big companies, they are all a part of a huge major political movement. And these huge major political movements are primarily fueled by liberalism. And if you closely examine liberalism, you will find that liberalism is highly promoted by the Hollywood celebrities. Liberalism is being led by the mainstream media. Liberalism is being pushed by these people such as the Kardashians. And speaking of the Kardashians, Kendall Jenner was recently featured on a Pepsi ad. And that Pepsi ad is strictly political and strictly the promotion of protests. And these protests have these hippie signs which they call, or which they refer to as the peace signs, quote unquote peace sign. But I can assure you it's not, because these things point back to Satanism and Aleister Crowley. And for a more obvious connection, this so-called peace sign, the V sign, it links back to the hippie movement. And most people, when they think of the hippie movement, they automatically think it's a peaceful movement. However, I can assure you that this hippie movement, it never was all about peace. Nay, that hippie movement was all about riotous living and lawlessness. And when we dig deeper to go and examine the hippie movement, what we find is that they were heavily influenced also by the band famously known as the Beatles. And it just so happens that when we dig deeper to go and look at the Beatles, what we find is Satanism written all over the Beatles. They were involved in Satanism. And it just so happens also, for a more obvious connection, the Beatles also on their albums, they have featured Aleister Crowley on front cover of their album. What are the chances of this? All of this is linked back to Satanism. Aleister Crowley was heavily involved in witchcraft and Satanism. That is just a small glimpse of what the V sign actually points to. It points to Satanism. It was a satanic agenda then, and it is a satanic agenda now. History repeats itself. All of these movements of oneness, equality, transhumanism, worldwide immoralities, all of these are satanic movements. Yet that is what Pepsi is promoting. That is what these major companies are pushing. That is what mainstream media is pushing for. These are new age philosophies and doctrines of demons. So let's boycott Pepsi. Don't even buy their products. Don't drink Pepsi. It's bad for you in the first place. Boycott Pepsi. In fact, actually, I'm happy that this thing's backfiring at them. They had to pull their ad off. Look at some of these headlines. From CNN, Crazy News Network, all the way to MSNBC. Many other news media publications are all showing the exact same thing. Pepsi had to pull down their ad because it received a huge backlash. Good! That's an excellent news. In fact, you guys should just get shut down. Obviously, it's a big company. They're not going to shut down. But nonetheless, that's what you get for being a huge joker, Pepsi. Liberalism is pro-homosexuality, pro-lesbianism, pro-transsexualism. Actually, I got this. Let me try this again. Liberalism is pro-LGBTQ HDTV 1080p at 60 at 60 frames per second. They had to pull down their ad because it sparked an outrage. And that outrage is fueled primarily also by YouTubers because, hey, YouTubers were the ones who were getting hit by this. We are the ones who are getting hit by this. Make note, ladies and gentlemen, these huge major companies, they are a part of the political movement. Whether you want to admit it or not, whether you want to accept it or not, whether you accept it or not, should I say, these companies are a part of a political movement. And it's going to narrow to the point where, in order for you to even receive a job with these companies, you must comply with their political agenda. And this will even come to a point where, let's say you apply for a job and you go for an interview. They will ask you at the interview, how do you feel about same-sex marriage? Or what are your convictions with regards to the LGBTQ community? And if you say that you do not support same-sex marriage, or you are against the entire promotion of the LGBTQ ideology because of your religious beliefs, or because of your religious convictions, should I say, you will not get the job. And guess what? If you decide to go on social media to speak against these things, or to say even your own opinion about why you don't agree with these things, guess what? You will not have ads on your videos. And that's exactly what's happening. That is the real truth that's going on, ladies and gentlemen. It's people who speak against the ideologies of mainstream media and liberalism. They are being silenced. The target is coming primarily to them. Social justice warriors are the ones who are monitoring YouTube, and they are the ones who are monitoring these big major companies, these big major organizations. This is the reason why they are all becoming affected by what is taking place in the political playgrounds. And what's making me angry is the fact that I'm getting these emails from YouTube now saying, oh, this video cannot be monetized because it's not advertiser friendly. Oh, you can't do this because it's this and that. Oh, you can't talk about this. You see, these are one of the ways in which they are attempting to shut us down and discourage us from speaking real truth out there. In fact, there's a problem with YouTube now in which when you upload a new video, you automatically notice that you lose a huge chunk of subscribers every time you upload a video. This, they say it's a quote-unquote glitch. Apparently, I wasn't the only one experiencing this. I was under the impression that, whoa, man, am I making some bad content or what? Why am I all of a sudden losing subscribers each time I upload videos? And apparently, other people are experiencing the exact same thing, where every time they upload a new video, they lose a chunk of subscribers. But anyways, that is for a whole different video. It's just to show you guys that what is actually taking place is real, and I'm a living testimony of that. I'm doing a separate video on that all by itself. For now, thank you for tuning in and for joining the Controversy 7. Hope you got something out of this video. If you did, feel free to give this video a thumbs up, share this video, because people need to hear the real truth. So, thank you for tuning in and for joining me. Subscribe if you're new to this channel. You take care of yourselves, be safe, and I'll see you guys next time.